What's the most absurd thing about Washington?
Oh, that's a very tough thing to answer.
So many to choose from.
I mean, the thing that's absurd, just from our personal perspective, is that whenever I go anywhere, I'm surrounded by a motorcade of like 20, 30, 40 cars, right? And so just you get like this amazing mixture of people, like tourists from Kansas or Ohio who are so sweet and nice as you're driving through Washington, D.C., and then you get like the really angry, kind of crazy radical who's running after your car, flipping you off. And just like the performative politics of Washington and a lot of the people who live in Washington is very weird to me. I think it's a town of people where it's like everything is kind of transactional, but people try to pretend that it's not. And I think that really warps things. Mm-hmm. And then just not from our perspective, not from the perspective of the administration or from us personally, but if you think about Washington, it's a place that almost nobody is from, right? So there's like, a historically middle-class black population. It's small and it's getting smaller because most of them are sort of selling their houses now that they're inflated and moving out to the burbs, right? So what you have is most of the residents here are not actually from here, and I think it just has like a psychologically warping effect. So you go to a Nationals game and everybody's rooting for the Nationals, but they don't actually care if the Nationals win. Whereas if you go to a Reds game, every person there is going to sob at the end of the game if they don't win. So there's just a weird, it's like a placeless place, and I think that's the most bizarre part of Washington.
I can't picture you in it. I mean, obviously I can see you in it, but I can't picture it because there's so much insincerity. I mean, I lived here for 3 years, and everyone takes themselves so seriously.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
the egos.
That must be so hard to bond with.
Well, it's definitely true that you have people who are sort of super huge egos. So a friend of mine, he's actually like a think tank intellectual. He told me once about the United States Senate when I was thinking about running for the Senate. He said the thing you have to realize about the United States Senate is that it's 100 people who wake up every morning, look in the mirror, and think to themselves they're going to be the President of the United States. Mm-hmm. And that is absolutely true, right?
But enough about Ted Cruz. We have plenty of time for him later.
It is a place of very intense egos. But the problem is people take themselves too seriously, right? So nobody in Washington can really make fun of themselves. Nobody can tell a joke at their own expense. It is an odd place.
It's one of the reasons why I think they have a love-hate relationship with your boss.
Yes.
Because they can't stand him because they don't like his politics.
Correct.
But I think at some level, even the press corps is so relieved to have somebody who will crack a joke every once in a while.
Yes.
Who will say, we have to cut this cabinet meeting short because it was boring the last time.
Which, thank God for that. No, I mean, the president, he is just, if Washington is an insincere place, I think you said that and said it well, he is like the polar opposite. He just says what's on his mind. Yeah. He doesn't care how anybody's going to react to it. What you see is what you get. And people always ask, well, what is he like in private? He is in private exactly like he is when he's in front of a camera. And I think that you're right. There are some members of the press who kind of like him for it, then some members of the press who don't. And then I think for most members of the press, it's a little bit of both, right? Like they admire the game, even if for some political reason they just can't admit that they actually like him, but most of them actually do.
They hate themselves for laughing.
Exactly. I mean, like there was a moment in the Oval Office, I wasn't even in there, but I was in the West Wing, and somebody sent me where he was talking to Caitlin Collins, who's the CNN anchor. And I have like a decent relationship with Caitlin Collins, which is unusual given that she's from CNN. But the president, she's asking a question. The president says, "Why don't you ever smile?"
Yeah.
And it's actually like so perceptive. Even if you're asking a tough question, even if you take your job very seriously, like why does it always have to be so antagonistic?
Well, I laughed because I saw online everybody was calling him sexist for saying that. And I literally said the same thing about Caitlin Collins a year ago on my show. She never smiles. Yes. Every once in a while you have to smile. Roger Ailes used to tell us that. Every once in a while you get remember to smile, show the viewers that you have a heart.
Have some fun, right? Like life, you can't always take yourself too seriously. You're going to have a heart attack. And that's too much of the Washington press corps. And of course, they don't act like that when the other guys are in power. So there is a political bias angle to it. But I think that the press would have a much higher, like the media is one of the least trusted institutions in the United States of America. More people would trust them, more people would like them if they actually express the range of emotions. Like, I'm not saying you have to agree with everything that me or President Trump do, but nobody is angry all the time. Mm-hmm. And when you come across as angry all the time, it's just fake.
International disputes, inflation, rising national debt, digital currency. There is a never-ending list of reasons that gold has risen over 700% in the last 20 years. And a never-ending list of reasons smart Americans diversify a portion of their savings into precious metals with Birch Gold Group. Gold can thrive during uncertainty, which is why it's a crucial part of a balanced strategy. It gives you peace of mind, given all the events that could impact the U.S. economy. See if holding gold in a tax-sheltered retirement account is right for you. Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. Just text MK to the number 989898 to receive your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, consider letting Birch Gold help you diversify with gold, so you too can have peace of mind regardless of the uncertainty. Text MK to the number 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.